what's been the most random inspiration for a song that you've written?
Ooh. There was a song on my second album called Bad at Love.
Yeah.
And the song is about me failing miserably at like a bunch of relationships. That's what it's about. But the inspiration for writing it was I've always wanted a motorcycle and I'm way too scared to ride one. And I'll never have one. I just always picture myself getting to. And so when I was making the album, I was like, I want a music video where I'm on a motorcycle. I was like, and I want the song to sound like a song you'd be like cruising down the road, like on your motorcycle, like listening to, and just like with your hands in the air, just like, and somehow that turned into Bad at Love. It doesn't make any sense at all, but
It does.
it was inspiration for the sound. Yeah.
No, I'm like that almost whenever I write a song as well. I have to have imagery, like I almost have a video playing like while I'm writing in my head. How do you deal, like when you're writing, how do you deal with writer's block? If you're like needing to, you're working on an album for whatever reason, you're just like blocked, how do you do that?
Oh, usually it's by doing something like super regrettable, like cutting bangs or like piercing my nose.
Super regrettable.
Like
awesome.
usually that's what I do. It's like there's three things I do is I dye my hair or cut bangs, I get a tattoo, or I call an ex for closure. And only two never worked out well, so you know.
I love her so much. She's so cool. Halsey and I talked a lot about her New York Times best-selling book, I Would Leave Me If I Could, which is, I still say, one of the best titles I've ever heard in my life. She had some really powerful reasons for writing it. Take a look at this previously unseen conversation about her influences and the writing process. Well, you actually, you said that you're close with your mom and you dedicated your book to your mom. So you said you used to sneak in, and this is, I have a problem with this. You used to read her journal?
Okay, so it wasn't like her personal journal. It was like her poetry journal.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, we should talk about that.
No, it wasn't like I'm invading your personal space kind of thing, even though there was probably nothing in it that she wouldn't have already told me because she used to tell me everything, like too much. Like my mom used to tell me too much. Like there's some things that I would be like, Mom, okay, like still your kid. Don't need to know that because we really are best friends. But it was her poetry journal, and she wrote some of the most beautiful poetry ever, and I just always wanted to write as like wonderful as her. And it was really cool because it showed me when we're growing up, I think we get to know our parents as just our parents, and we forget that they're like really complex people who have had like their heart broken before, and like they wonder about other relationships and how their life would have gone if things had been different, have like regret, sadness, and it's like so much more than just like that's my mom and that's all she is just my mom. And so it made me understand her as like more complex of a person, and I think it made us closer. So I'm definitely super grateful for that.
Yeah, we do forget that. And then as you get older, you start to realize, especially that they had their own lives, and you start to wonder, like, what would they have been like at like 20? But how would you describe the feeling of needing to write something? Because that's the only way I write. Like all my songs are when I have to get something out.
I think I sit on things for a really long time, and then I start to feel like really anxious, and I can't figure out why. And then usually it's because I need to like dig up some feeling that's deep down inside me. I mean, Kelly, you are one of the greatest songwriters like ever to ever live. I'm serious. I'm a huge fan of your writing. I'm massively inspired by it. It's so rare in this industry that there are women who are performers and entertainers who actually write their own words and like are determined to get on the stage and sing words that they wrote themselves from their own experiences and be open about things that aren't pretty or complimentary of themselves, or like experiences they've had that are like, you know, sometimes really tough. And like, you've always been that person, and that's huge inspiration for me. So like, definitely wanted to make sure I got the chance to say that while I'm in front of you.
No, actually, that's a good segue question, because it's so funny because people have said that to me, like, oh, is that hard how honest you are? It's not. Like, I think it's not hard for me to say, oh, this happened to me and it sucked, and this happened to me and whatever. Like, because I feel like we all go through experiences, like, and nobody's got it, but you know, everybody's life is different. Everything is valid, every situation. We all get hurt, we all get shunned, you know, we all get happy about things. Like, do you do you have a problem, like when you write such personal things, does it come naturally for you to release it? Or does it kind of make you scared because you're like, oh, I don't know if I should have been that open?
Oh, I think it's always natural, but then there's always that kind of moment of like, oh my gosh, what have I just done? Because I'll always get really confident and I'll be like, yeah, I need to share this with the world. And there's other people who've been through this experience and like they need to know that we're all in this together. And then I'll put it out and be like, oh my God, what did I just do? And then usually it ends up being okay because my fans are wonderful and they love me so unconditionally and they're so good at this point at receiving personal information because I've always been very honest and I've always been like really avid about sharing, you know, intimate experiences with them and they're forgiving and gentle about it. But, you know, if I've ever had experiences where I've had, you know, I've worried about regret, I always remember for all the people who their voices seem negative, there's so many more people out there who are sharing with me that they've been helped by, you know, by me sharing my experience, and that makes it worth it always, every time. You know, I'm sure you feel the same.
Yeah, no, and it's so funny though. My first song that was like super personal to me, I remember putting it out and I was kind of nervous about it because I was like, oh, it's pretty personal. And then after that experience, I think like you said, like even if you like connect with one random person that could be in like, you know, Thailand or whatever that really needed that song that you were a vessel for, like that's the coolest thing ever as an artist. And I just wondered if it's not always easy for everybody to be so open. And it actually ended up becoming very natural for me because I think I'm naturally like that in general. And I've seen you in interviews and that's what I love about you. You're kind of an open book, whether it's your poetry, whether it's painting, with just how you are. You're just like, this is me and it's cool if you like it. And if you don't, that's cool too. And I think that that's admirable. You don't have your card yet. I actually wrote all this in a card to you that I write to every guest that comes to the show because I love that. We need strong, powerful women, especially for little girls and for little boys to see powerful women in those positions, you know, and to create that norm.